The next thing we do is we now assemble the roof vent or roof window. These are all F parts, they're all in one bundle when you unwrap them. You have F1 is this particular bar. This is not part of the roof window itself. This goes in the greenhouse frame at the bottom of the roof window. So we install that in a minute. First we do that. Then there are some parts. We have F2. This is the top part. This is the sort of the hinge part of the roof window which goes into the roof beam on the outside. You have two F4s. You have to be careful that those are installed with the curve to the outside. And then there is the little bottom part which is F3, which is the bottom of the roof window. The first thing we do is assemble these corners. And what happens is the F4s go on top of the top part. So you then lift that up, put your bolt through there, screw those and screw that together. Bolt it together. Do the same thing on the other side. And the next thing you do is take your polycarbonate square. It's almost a square. It's a little bit wider maybe than that it is long. And you take the protective covering off that we will show you also with the other panels. One is a white side and one is the clear side. Making sure that the UV coated side goes on the outside. We slide this into the frame. There's a little track in the middle on both these F4s. And you go down that track. So put it against your body and just slide this down the track, and then in the bottom, also in the same track of your top part, the F4. Those guided in there. Good. And now we assemble the bottom bar. So what you have to do is, in fact, open it up a little bit, back up, put your bolt in here, do that on both sides, slide it down, now put it back, and then slide your crossbar into it goes on top of the other pieces, on the top of the F4, underneath, they slide into underneath the head of the, just make that, just trying to see, nicely line that up. Need to turn that over maybe, see what I'm doing correctly. Yes. Now that I've turned that over, turn the nut, push it down so it's nice and lines up nicely. Same thing on this side. There. Okay. Now the next thing we do is we attach to this at the bottom, I guess. On the inside, you do the little window opener. And we have to think about this for a second, so you make sure that you do this in the right direction. And in this case, this needs to, when you have it upside down, hanging like that, you want this window opener to be able to hold like that. So, in other words, what you're doing is you need to do it upside down, screw it in upside down like this. So we take a Phillips head screwdriver, take two of these little screws that come in the back, and screw that all together. And this way you have your window ready to go. And next we will show you the next step. The next thing we do is we slide the hinge part of the roof vent down the roof beam. What you're doing is the very top goes in that little track underneath the curve at the very top of the roof window. You slide it down all the way to the middle section so that it ends up in between the two profiles. Okay, the next part is once you have inserted the roof window of the roof vent all the way down the roof beam and into the middle section, then you take your F1 bar and we're going to install that underneath the window. Make sure that your flat side with all your holes is at the bottom, and what you do is simply go at a slight angle, slide it in there. There's a little groove at each end. It goes on each side of the bar. Lift the whole thing up until it just touches the bottom. Give it a slight gap, 1/8 of an inch, underneath the roof window. And all you do is bring up your extra bolts we did earlier when we assembled the frame. Get a nut. And then tighten those on both sides. And then the next thing I'll show you is how to put the little black. Okay, so we do this side. Okay, see, now your roof window goes up and down. And now what we can do is attach these two little black pins. They hold the window closed. So I will do one at a time. You have 4 little holes, and all you need to do is with your small screws add these to the little bar, the roof window bar. I will insert it first into, use my screwdriver, and then get the other one, makes it all much easier, hopefully. Do this, and then attach these both. Okay. I'll touch the other one, but just to show you what happens is, this way you can actually close the window and keep it closed. But here, what we'll do is also show you the adjustment, how you put the window, keep it open when it is warm weather, and you want to have this open. Of course, you can also have an automatic window opener, which is a separate optional item. If you bought that, we'll show you later how that is installed. But for now, we do the regular manual first. So, like that. And see, if you want to close it and keep it nicely closed, this is how it closes. This is fine. And then when you want it open, you can have it like this or like that. That gives you some air, the adjustment. All this will become much firmer once you put all the plastic, all the polycarbonate in the whole greenhouse. For the moment it's a little loose still because all that is not in there yet. Okay,